Well, hello, and yes, it is the end of 2024. I haven't made a solo video in quite a while, and it's not because I haven't wanted to, but just a lot of life things. So, thank you for tuning in and watching this as I go over a year in review of, I guess, what I'm going to call 2024 in the flesh and blood ecosystem. So 2024 was a heck of a year for the game of Flesh and Blood, from booster set releases to armory deck introductions, first strike, Gen Con. I mean, this year was an absolute home run. For the 5th year of Flesh and Blood from Worlds in Osaka, I can't really think of a way that they could top this, unless they release some cool stuff in 2025. So let's talk about some predictions that I think will happen in 2025, as well as my thoughts on the current status of the game, whether you should get into it, if you're enjoying it, and other variety of topics that I'll just kind of toss in there. Now, 2025 is going to be an interesting year because, well, LSS has grown and shown that they want the game to succeed. And whether that's, like I said, the introduction of the first strike decks, which really were a just amazing product to be introduced. And I was very excited to see this. I mean, face it, it's the end of the year. These only came out 4 months ago. And in 4 months, I think they have reshaped the idea of what an introductory product would look like for the game of Flesh and Blood. LSS actually released a video recently where they were talking about the product lines and product suites. Now, I actually scrapped my version of the video that I was working on that was very similar because they did such a great, fantastic job of doing that review that I felt like I couldn't do it justice because they are the manufacturer of the game and they know what's what. Now, some topics that I want to talk about is we have booster boxes, and this year we had 3 sets, starting off with Heavy Hitters, then Part the Mistveil, and finally ending with Rosetta. Now, from a player perspective that I enjoy Mechanologist, which was the Dash.io Armory deck, one of the ones that came out this year. Honestly, the sets were exciting for me, especially Heavy Hitters, which I think was my favorite set of the entire year. And if I had to pick one set for you to enjoy, I would recommend going to Heavy Hitters. It's kind of like a Welcome to Wraith 2.0, where you have a lot of the individual... I guess the best way to word it is the interactability, right? You have tokens, you have back and forth. It feels very interactive and not like I play my thing and wait, and then you play your thing and then wait. So I really liked Heavy Hitters, the wager mechanics, things like that. It was top-notch, chef's kiss. I love it. Also, it was a UPF product in a box technically, so that was exciting. Which also leads to 2025. There's going to be Smash Palace, which that is coming out with Guardian Pack Mastery. I'm assuming they're doing it around Gen Con because these came out at Gen Con, so it would make sense since they're pushing that back to around that time frame. It could very well be that they're introducing it at Gen Con again. So that's my prediction, is that we're going to have some cool, maybe UPF PvE-like kind of thing. Not really PvE, right? Because we're not getting PvE, quote-unquote, or we are getting it at some point in the future, but that's not for now, and that's okay. I can be mad about it, and then we'll just see what happens. But I think we're going to get something interesting in that Smash Palace is going to provide a more casual, fun format, right? The gym packs, that's another huge win for the Armory section, right? Being able to have these individualized packs where you get a random card and it doesn't have to worry about the top end spikes or the low end. You know, I just started to play because if you go buy a deck like this Armory Jarl deck here, Jarl, I don't know how you want to say it, but Jarl, right? This hero, which has the first, now this is a little bit different than the Armory decks. This is the Origins deck. So I think for next year, we're also going to get at least one Origin deck. I didn't see a UPF round the table this year, but I think Heavy Hitters filled that spot. So we might get another round the table type format, or maybe Smash Palace will take into consideration for that. The round the table product was a collaboration with Tolarian Community College for the Professor, and I think that overall turned out to be a pretty good boxed product. I mean, it was super fun. The playmat's pretty awesome. I really like the playmat. The boxes, right? That was kind of like the start of the boxes. You know, right now we have the Round the Table one, the Part the Mistveil one, the Rosetta collection. We're going to have the Hunted one coming out in the beginning of the year. So I think that it was kind of the beginning of stuff. And honestly, my box has seen so much love and attention because it's been carted around, thrown in the back of a car, duct taped. Those boxes actually held up pretty well. Granted, obviously it shows some love, but that's the thing, right? They're releasing top quality stuff. Now, I will say there is something I still am kind of not thrilled about, which I guess being eco-friendly is one thing, but they really don't give you a printed rule book in these, and that's not something that I'm trying to harp on too much. But again, from a prediction standpoint and things, I really hope that, again, this, which is just a beautiful package with cards inside, maybe they can throw in some of the things that have been suggested. I know Sloop Dupe talks about that stuff. I've kind of talked about it as well. I think that there's some minor improvements that would just make that product an 11 out of 10, and my dog agrees because he's barking over in the background because he really enjoys the postman coming and delivering the mail right now because I can hear it and I know you can't. Anyways, so one of the things that I think is exciting about this year and looking back is I don't have my heavy hitter box around me, right? I've opened that, so I just happened to find this for the visual representation. But the lead in, or the fact that they kind of did a little bit of this Aurora into Aurora kind of a thing, right? And then Terra, which is this one, and we really haven't seen much extra from it, but I see what they were doing with that, and with the decks that are out there, especially like the dash deck. This is just such a good way to get in, right? The Azalea, or they threw in that one in whatever crazy chase card that you didn't really know was there. So it was like a ha-ha moment when well, not a ha-ha moment. It was a aha moment when you were like, oh my gosh, you can get one of these special ones. And I thought I got one of the special cards originally. I did not, which is fine. But it was funny because I was so hard to tell, right? It was one of those things you just kind of had to look at it. But each of the decks, I mean, the KO deck, which I've opened up and I've had and played that deck. I mean, the Bolton deck is still really good, right? The selection of these are, looking fantastic for what they have. And then the beginning of 2025, there's basically a release almost every single every single month, it looks like, because when I was looking back at some messages here, and if I go back far enough here, I believe, if I can pull this up quickly, there are, let's see here. January is set 15, which we know is the Hunted. You have March is an Armory deck. April's an Armory deck. May is an Armory deck. June is set 16, and James said that one's going to be a real something to look out for. So I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm actually more excited for set 16 than I am set 15 because I feel like something interesting is going to be there. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. We already know everything about set 15, and that's not to say that I am not going to enjoy that set. I will love that set. It's going to be Draconic is returning. You got a Ninja, you got Assassin, and now a new class Chaos, or new talent Chaos, not class. So maybe we're going to get a new I don't know, maybe a new class. We're kind of almost past due for a class. We haven't had a class in a long time, a new one, right? So you set 16 in June. Maybe that's where it's going to be. But then you got July is another Army deck. August is Mastery Pack, which is also Gen Con, right? So I feel like they are basically teed up for some home run type stuff. And, I can't be more excited to be a connoisseur of this game. Like everything, whether it's I collect, I play, I try to understand the lore. I'm looking at the card text, the flavor text when it's there, because it's not always there. So some flavor text, that was one of the things I was hoping they'd have a little bit more of on these cards. But from a beginner product, I understand why they didn't put the flavor text on certain cards. But, when you have just a giant empty, like Fry, go again, right? You could put some, or actually, I'm sorry, Heaven's Claw is a good one. There's just a blank. But I don't know. Like, I think the product served its purpose. It does what it does. It teaches the game. It's a little bit different than the Ira deck. I mean, the Ira promo, right, that came out, or the adult Ira that came out for the Osaka, right? There's a promo of that. I have that over here that I managed to get from somebody. I forget who. It's been a while. Oh my gosh, I don't remember who I got that from. I'm so sorry. Thank you for helping me obtain that. That was one of the cards that I really wanted. It's not over here. I have my drunk misprint Bravo because that's hilarious. But anyways, the piece that's interesting about this, to me at least, right, is you have a lot of things going. The momentum, which I watched a YouTube video recently about momentum and in writer's blocks and things like that. And I think that LSS has the momentum going forward into this next year to really showcase that they are a powerhouse. And like, if nothing else, this video will wrap up here. But happy holidays. Have a fantastic new year. Be safe. Drive. Drink responsibly if you drink. Those kind of things, right? Like, just be yourself. Enjoy. Find your community. Have fun in the game. Find something you're passionate about. Like, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution to myself to try and be better at making short 5-minute videos about a topic or learning about something that I'm not familiar with in the game of Flesh and Blood. Because right now, my weakness, my kryptonite, is not that I don't understand how to play the game at a basic level, but that I'm not doing enough with the different heroes, and I don't know how the other heroes interact with the hero that I care the most about in the mech world. So whether that's Tech Levasan, whether that's Max, whether that's Dash, I need to understand the other heroes to understand how to play my hero and my class. So that's what I'm going to work on for myself this year. So again, thank you for tuning in. We almost hit it. We were very close to our magic 600 subscriber count. I'd like to still hit 1K or beyond at some point in the future. So thank you very much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. And until next time, may your games be fun and your friendships grow. Cheers. Happy New Year's. A Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all. And I will see you in the beginning of January as we talk and look forward to The Hunted as we explore that set and kind of dive into the mechanics that we know. See you next time. Hi, Draco. Hi, buddy. I didn't know you were down there. You're such a good doggo. Did you want to go outside? Is that what you need? Let's go outside. Good boy. Come on. I know.